Alright folks, today it's gonna be a little bit weird. Let's age some steak in ketchup and mustard. It's time to grill. I recently saw a video on social media with a guy marinating his steaks in barbecue sauce. And I thought this would be a great idea, so I picked up the topic and decided to make mustard and ketchup aged steaks. So let's get started with a small bowl and a good amount of Coleman's mustard. The consistency of that mustard is perfect for today's idea. So get started with some at the bottom. Add a steak, cover the steak completely in mustard. Add the second steak and cover again in mustard. Then place this in the refrigerator for minimum 2 days. And we're doing the same thing with the second pair of steaks. We are marinating this one in ketchup. Of course, a lot of people would say, oh, isn't it better to grill your steak with salt and pepper? Yes, of course, you can grill your steak just seasoning with salt and pepper. But from a video maker perspective, this is kind of boring, and sometimes I like to make a little provocation on social media, so these ideas work best there. And marinating a steak in ketchup isn't something really special. There is a dish that is called steak alla pizzaiola in Italy, where a steak is completely marinated in tomatoes. So this is the fast food version. In the meantime, we have already preheated our gas grill 80 degrees Celsius, so low heat. And we're going to cook the steaks until they have an internal temperature close to the temperature we are grilling the steaks medium to medium rare. In the meantime, there's enough time to preheat a charcoal grill for high direct heat to have a nice branding and great grill marks later on. Now the steaks have an internal temperature of 48 to 50 degrees Celsius. I like to grill my steaks until they have 52 to 54 degrees Celsius. And now you can see that the consistency of that mustard is still good. It's still covering the complete steak, even with the one below. So take off the steaks and now take off the mustard, which took longer and is a little bit messier than I expected and I hoped. First of all, the color does not seem very spectacular, but as soon as you throw this one on the grill and you see the comparison to the ketchup steaks, you will see a huge difference. Before grilling, season both sides with some salt flakes and place them back on the warming rack so they stay warm again. They should not get too cold. Start with the mustard steaks, because removing the marinade from the ketchup steaks is rather easy. It's the same with sous vide. If you place meat in a sous vide bag, it looks a little bit boring when they come out. It's just like, and it literally is, like cooked beef. But as soon as you throw this on a grill with direct heat and get your grill marks, it looks really, really interesting. Same here. Season with salt both sides. And then the rest is rather easy. We're placing the steaks on direct heat. Make sure not to grill them too long now. 1.5 minutes, 90 degrees turn. 1.5 minutes, 90 degrees turn. Flip and the same. And now you see the huge difference between the mustard and the ketchup steak. I'm kind of happy with the results because you really get a nice crust. Sometimes, if you marinate meat in a sous vide bag, for example with liquids, whiskey, Jägermeister, I really made a lot of that experimental videos, it's hard to get a nice crust. But here the crust is really, really good. The mustard steak really has a nice mustard flavor. And mustard flavor with beef goes great. I know that a lot of you have seen my video on how to make a steak Strindberg, which is technically a crust of onions, mustard and flour. This one really, really tastes good. The ketchup steak is more sweeter. The crust is a little bit better, which comes from the sugar, I guess. And it's really sweet. But I like the sweetness the steak has. And my kids loved it. So you should definitely check this video out on my fan pages, especially on Facebook. Sometimes the people go nuts with some of that experimental ideas I'm doing. So make sure to check it out. Now we have the mustard steak at the left side and the ketchup steak on the right side of the plate, seasoned with salt and pepper. If you like, you can sprinkle over some crushed nachos to have a little bit of a crispiness. I really enjoy that, works great with the ketchup steak. And of course, as always, I'm gonna give this a shot right now. Can't wait to hear your thoughts about those simple marinating ideas. Please leave me a comment and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That would be really cool. As I mentioned, visit my fan pages. You will find me everywhere. Anyway, I loved it. Thanks for watching. I'm out. See you.